This is major. We're going to be talking about the major takeaways from the Chicago Bulls preseason loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to be talking about which players stood out in tonight's performance. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so in preseason game number 3, the Chicago Bulls get beat by the Milwaukee Bucks 111-107. And we did have some standout performances, even though we did take the loss. And so as we go ahead and shift focus here and look at the box score, I think the first thing that comes to mind to me is what Josh Giddy was able to do. I talked about it on the last video with him having to be a lot better of a three-point shooter. And this is his best performance so far in the preseason. Yes, I know it is the preseason, but this is something that this team wants to do. They want to be able to shoot the three ball, and the fact that he was able to come in, knock down some three-point shots. He went 3 of 4 tonight. He also did have 5 assists and 3 rebounds. He continues to stack the stat sheet there. And then he contributed on the defensive end. He had a good block shot there, so that is nice to see from Josh Giddy. Even though he was minus 14 in this one, I like the fact that he did add another point to his total so far in preseason play. And you could only expect that this is going to get better for him as he continues to recover from the ankle injury. You know, he didn't play with Zach Lavine, Kobe White out there, Vooch. And so you could imagine that this is probably going to be something that he can definitely build upon. So a good performance, I think, from Josh Giddy and taking that step forward in some of the things that I think he has to get better at. Next up, Adama Sanogo. I think that Adama Sanogo certainly really stood out today. You know, a lot of times we've seen the physicality that he has shown in Summer League. We also saw a little bit of that physicality last season in the minutes that he has gotten to play with this team. But tonight, a nice little double-double at 16 points, 15 rebounds. He did have 3 assists and 2 blocks. And, you know, it just makes you wonder, you know, if Vooch were to be traded, or if, you know, we need to get some more players to play in the front court, can Sanogo come up and play and give us some good minutes here? Because it's nights like this that makes us really wonder, can Sanogo be a rotational piece in the front court? I know Billy Donovan has come out and said that he really likes Sanogo and he would want to see this young man play. And so I wanted to see a little bit more in the preseason, see how he responded. You see what happens when he gets a chance to go out there and play. And, you know, Milwaukee did play, you know, a lot of their starters and things out there. So we did get a chance to see Sanogo get out here and bring that level of physicality out there. And so this was a good sign, I think, to see for him. He is on that 2-way contract. And so for him to see some playoff action, if the Chicago Bulls were to get there, well, he would have to get into a standard deal here. But a nice showing for Sanogo. Next up, Julian Phillips. And so Julian Phillips did go down with an injury. I do like the fact that he did go into double figures tonight. Did have 2 rebounds today. He did shoot up some air balls too as well. But still, he shot the basketball. You can definitely tell that he has some confidence here. And I don't have an issue with him missing shots. He did get a chance to go out there and start. But more importantly, I like the fact that he's continuing to try to build out there. And it looks like he is coming out. He's being aggressive. He's being assertive. This is what you want from a young player that is trying to crack the rotation. I think he's definitely sending the message loud and clear to Billy Donovan that, look, he wants to be a part of what the Chicago Bulls are building. So I liked everything that he did today. It's unfortunate that he did go down with a rib injury. They did hold him out. It looks like he is going to be fine, like a rib contusion or something like that. But that is the story with Julian Phillips. And so next on the box score, THT. I think that THT is really putting it out there that he wants to make this basketball team. And the one thing that I do love about what THT did tonight was he knocked down the 3-ball. Okay, so he did hit some 3-point shots today. He was 4 of 10 overall from the field. He did put up the 15 points, the 6 rebounds. But once again, I like the fact that he did shoot the 3-ball. And he's just being aggressive out there and really showing you that he can definitely put the ball in the hole. And you love that type of physicality out there. I'm definitely rooting for THT to perhaps make this roster. I'm not sure, what the minutes are going to look like, but I think he is certainly, putting his name in the hat to go ahead and go out there and possibly be on this roster when the season starts. And so THT, I think, had a very good performance. Lastly, Modest Buzelis. I want to talk about his performance. 15 points today, 5 rebounds. He had he had 5 plus 5, in the box where he had 2 rebounds. Apologize there. But anyhow, he looked pretty good. I think that with Modest Buzelis, I think the one thing that I take away from him is just the aggressiveness. And, he went at Giannis, and I love the fact that he is fearless too. And there were times where he did not shoot the basketball well, but he kept going back and still continuing to shoot the ball. And that's what you love about Modest Buzelis. It is just the ability to go to the next play. It's his ability to compete. And he just makes it known that he just feels like he belongs. And so I think that Modest Buzelis had a good showing, even though, he did have some, questionable shots out there, but I liked the aggressiveness. I liked how assertive that Modest Buzelis was out there for us. And again, I think that this is another building block piece. And I had talked about this pregame. I said, how is Modest Buzelis going to respond after a tough night? Well, he gets the most points thus far in the preseason for himself at 15. Prior, he had 12, and you see that he just responds by going after it and being aggressive. So loved everything that Modest Buzelis had to bring to us tonight. As we look at the team box score, I think some of the key takeaways here is that, we shot 31% from downtown. Obviously, we want to shoot a little bit better than that. We didn't have Zach Lavine, Kobe White, Ayo out there. As far as the field goal percentage, 38.3% for us today. The Bucks shot around 43%, as you can see here. Big thing too, rebound-wise, 53-50. The Bucks got us there. I'm sure if we would have had Jalen Smith, perhaps Vooch out there, that would have helped. And this also too highlights, I think, a lot of what Sanogo was able to do as far as rebounding the basketball. I think he did a terrific job there. And so those are just some of the team stats that really stood out here. We are anticipating that Lonzo Ball is going to be back into playing basketball with the Chicago Bulls here coming up Wednesday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we're super excited about that. And then there was talk that he should be out there, I think, for the finale against the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I think is at home too. So let me know in the comments, what you're thinking about some of these performances in this preseason game, because I think that, some of these younger players that we talked about before, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, Modest Buzelis, I think that they still did their thing. And even though Dalen Terry did have a tough night on the offensive end, he still was able to get 5 assists, and I think definitely brought a ton of energy. But that is really the story here. I think you have younger players that are for sure showing that they should be in the rotation. THT showing that he should possibly get a roster spot. And Modest Buzelis, again, continues to show why there is this huge buzz around Modest Buzelis, the energy, the effort, just the want-to that he brings. You see the excitement there. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking. I just want to thank everybody for going ahead and subscribing to us. We appreciate that out there as we try to reach 5,000 subscribers before the NBA season starts. Want to let you know about 64.2% that watch are not subscribed. So make sure you go ahead and mash on that subscribe button for me, as it means a lot. And even though we are still talking about preseason basketball, and the regular season is right around the corner, I'm still saying go Bulls, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.